There it goes. There it updated. Alright. 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 Hey, everybody, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. I've been working on it for a few years. And I'm announcing this right now. I'm down to my last 300 days on the project until it gets released. And I'm a cocky bastard. I'm just declaring that the release date is going to be January 1st, 2022. And you're like, how do you know it's going to be released at that time? How do you know? And I'm like, this isn't my first rodeo. I've released a couple of games exactly on April 1st. I'm a manager for 24 people technically. And we release things all the time. I know basic project management. So I've been doing like an informal version of status tracking for a little bit. And it's resulted in this kind of stream-friendly type of representation of progress. It's like, yeah, there's all stuff we gotta do. It's got some colors to it. Let's see. I could continue updating this. I probably still will. But it's not anymore the... Oh boy, that is a bad color to use for a background. Let's go there. What, brown? I don't know. This is becoming a bit of a toy, to be honest. Shall we get serious? Let's see what real project managers use. Roadmaps, Gantt charts, that kind of thing. Okay, so I've got all my stages planned out. There's different milestones, different deliverables. We say we're done with something when certain criteria are met, and there's these different phases. I'm mostly the only person working on this, but I will get help of contractors for some different things. I already have help from playtesters. I already have help for someone working on the character models. Let me give you the broad lay of the land for the rest of the year, 2021, leading up to the release, which will be on Steam. Okay, so the levels, play complete, meaning you could just play through the whole game and have at least the challenges within the levels represent what they should be during release time. That's done. I mean, we're going through some testing. There may be a few updates, but we're done with those. Okay. Missing from a lot of the levels are story. So I need to go through and write dialogue that's built into the level controllers. This is not a game with cutscenes. All of the story happens while you're playing, and even without interruption to your basic play. So it's not a modal thing where you walk up to a character and then a story, like a dialogue tree pops up. No, everything happens while you're playing. So basically I go through all the levels and I take my existing story outline and I say, here are the events that need to happen, and I write dialogue, I write jokes for the characters, basically get all that done. I might generate maybe 30 minutes to an hour of final spoken dialogue. Okay. So that takes me to June, which is where I plan my voiceover sessions with my actors. And I've already started talking to a few people that I'd like to be involved in the project for M and Billy characters, which are the two characters with the largest amount of lines and presence in the game. M, that's going to be Chelsea Binta unless something bad happens. And Billy, well, I won't announce yet. I still need to talk a little bit with this guy, but he's somebody I worked with a lot in the past. He's very talented, he's very funny. So I'm looking forward to that. So in June, I'm just giving it a whole month for scheduling sessions to record and also doing audio editing Okay, and then there's also going to be some authoring of lip animation that corresponds to the final audio. So once we have all that in, we'll do some authoring of that audio. Okay, so then after we've got all the media that we need, then we work on making the levels fully complete, fully polished. There may be a few cosmetic touches here and there, corrections to lighting, stuff like that. Depending on how much juice I feel I've got at this point, juice being my own energy, juice being the energy of other people, juice being money in the bank, I may commission some more 3D art to go into the levels at this point. Okay, and then there's the second alpha, which I'm calling light alpha. The heavy alpha, I have 4 play testers that are puzzle game aficionados, and they're experts at solving puzzles. And I get a lot of detailed feedback from them on the levels. I start out with Schick and Alex, and then more recently we've added, forgive me, I'm blanking on the names a little bit. Oh, I feel embarrassed about that. I'm just blanking. But 2 more people. Dan and Dan and one other guy. Okay, my apologies. My apologies for forgetting a name. Okay, so then we go through light alpha, which is people that maybe they like puzzle games, but they're not nearly as hardcore as this first group of people. And I'm going to be focused not on the full game, but on the first session of a game. Particularly things that confuse people, particularly things that make them frustrated and want to give up on the game. And it doesn't mean I'll oversteer and make the things that were really good be compromised in order to go after every single person that plays the game. But this is where we say the more general audience, what do they need to enjoy this game? It's more like if the person is capable of enjoying the basic kind of game, but they're just turned off a little bit by some things that happen in it, then can we fix those? If so, then the game will be better overall, and we'll have a better adoptance of it by different people. Okay, then we get to beta, which means the game is fully it's code complete. There's no features to add. There's no more media to add to it. At this point, we're only fixing bugs. I honestly think I've given this way too much time. That's like 4 months to just polish and fix bugs. What will probably happen is it won't be a strict beta, meaning there'll be things I'm still adding that are kind of small improvements but aren't actually proper bugs. So there's probably going to be a little bit of a gray area here, but I've got 4 months from September to December to get this thing wrapped up. And there's other stuff I'll have to do, like Steam store integration and stuff like that. Okay, then I've got, this other block here for, I get confused between like all the different terms. There's publicity, there's press relations, I think the general term I want is not PR, but marketing. So I'll just call this marketing. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Yeah. So marketing. This one I am going to get some help with. I'm looking to get not an agency, but just one person who really enjoys playing puzzle games, maybe other games too. So they're knowledgeable about the gaming scene out there. Like I ask them, what do you think about Discord? They have some opinion. They have good language skills and, some basic kind of Photoshop media skills, putting together animated GIFs. And then we set up a little patrol and, please post like once a week on Twitter, on certain subreddits. We just have this person working on marketing up until the release day on January 1st. And that's what they do. They just kind of chug away. And I feel like that's a lot of what marketing is. And if I go to an agency, there's going to be some people that are maybe better at the overall campaign strategy. But you have to have a lot of effort that's done basic media manipulation and I say media manipulation, I mean like multimedia and writing copy and posting and just going to lots of sites. That's the main thing I need. And a lot of the agencies, they're really just a kind of a little bit of brain with some marketing strategy on top, but the bulk of what they're offering are services where people go out and do this work. So that's the overall plan. And I am really confident that I'm going to have this released on January 1st, 2022, start of the year. And that's 300 days away. I picked today to announce it just because I like round numbers. But I've had in my head that I was going to do it this way for a little while, a couple weeks. And I did give up on the idea of a publisher. I just read a bunch of stuff and I thought, okay, I can see where the parts are that are giving me some apprehension about doing myself. And I feel like I could set them up reasonably well to get them done without as much consternation as I was expecting to have. So that's the plan. And also, I want to do a demo because I did get some work done yesterday. Let's do a demo. Okay. I had Razophone, who was on the stream yesterday, and he was giving me some good advice, actually. One of the things he said seemed like it was going to go far away from what I wanted to do. And I was sort of, I don't know, not grumpy, that's not the right word, but I was just a tiny bit tense. Like, I was doing this thing one way, and then Razophone says, do it this other way. Why don't you do this other way? I go, well, I think the first way I picked will work. And the second way, maybe it works too, but I know the first way would work. And so I don't know, I want to switch over to the way that you're talking about. What happened was, as soon as I went off stream and worked on it a little bit later, without being on stream, I'm like, maybe he's right. And I tried it his way. And it didn't quite work, but this is so vague. We'll get into details anyways. The overall thing that I'm accomplishing here is loading in these files that specify lip animation and use it to control the playback of lips. So I will show you this level called the Death Box. There's a character in the middle who's going to start talking, singing more accurately, and the lip movements will not be synced up, but there will be some, and they're coming from a file. I'll show you. Oh, do I have? Tell me I've got maximize on. Got max. There we go. Oh yeah.
You are afraid that all your pieces fell apart. They
So
a little nothing.
What you saw was a few authored lip movements at the beginning where I had done some work to put the correct timing in, and then it just went on to his mouth quivering, across different animation frames because I had not yet put in any timing information around those other animation events. So the thing that I got done, which is actually maybe more interesting than what I just showed. Not more interesting. It's less interesting, less visible, but more meaningful, more valuable. Is I came up with a good solution for loading in speech, dialogue, and related files. So what it does is it will, when in my pre-processing, it will look for any files that match a pattern of speech, dialogue, WAV files, or the animation files that go along with the lines, and it will add them to this little component thing during pre-processing, and it does it with file path searches, which aren't really available in play mode for the build. So caveats to that, but I won't go into it. So it populates the speech resource path from the asset database, which is available in the editor but not at playtime, and it just sets the addressable locations of all the files inside of here. So then when I am in play mode instead of edit mode, it will load in all those files, and that's basically it. It's like not that fun to demo because the fun part of demoing it is when all the content is there, but I did come up with a good way of loading in everything, and it works. Okay, today I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup on that code I wrote yesterday. I'm going to use the face tool to author some of the lines that belong in the lips file. The lips file is the thing that specifies the animation. And yeah, so I'm going to get some of this mouth animation going. It's probably going to be a little bit of a short session because I need to work on some tasks off stream. I can't do everything on stream today. One of the things I need to get going is my marketing plan, and that involves like writing out a description of what I want the marketeer to do, and maybe doing some posts to some different places and stuff like that. So yeah, anything that's sort of like a business relationship, I try to keep that private instead of talking about it on the stream. Because like if I say I want to pay somebody this much and I'll work out the terms, it'll be like a percentage of profits or something like that. As soon as you get into talking about business terms for people you partner with, it creates potential problems. It potentially creates problems. So that'll happen off stream. All right, let's do a little bit of work on this. I'm going to go to the face tool. Actually, I could just open up this other project. Was there a crash at some point? Is that why I don't see the face tool project here? That's usually why. That's fine. All right, so I will need at some point to refine this thing a little bit so it supports a better flow. Okay, I think I actually have everything in here. So my goal in this session is just to get good timing on the first line, and hold on, let me see, is this the full song or is it just part of it? I'll use that to, I'll use the timing, the lips events on this first line to double check that everything's working well. Okay, a little nothing. Where is that coming from? Okay, this is just one line.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed.
Okay, but I want the one that comes from the song. Okay, we got the knives. And that will go into Face Tool, Assets, Project, Audio. Let's move it here. Okay, it's being forced to mono, which is good. And let's drag it into the phoneme screen. I'm just going to do the first couple lines here. Okay, so there'll be a really long part at the beginning. Oh, it just occurred to me. I could split this up into lines. And then use the animator to trigger each line. Then I don't have to have one giant. Then I wouldn't have to have one giant lips file. Which this UI admittedly is not good at doing, like one massive lips file. Alright, you know what? That is not a bad way to go. Here, let's just do one. Oh yeah, then I get my subtitles happening. I just have to have at each spot in the overall timeline one thing that gets said. Okay. I'm just gonna delete these just to keep it less busy. There we go.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed.
Okay. I don't yet have a way to just copy and paste this or get it out of here, which just occurred to me now. Let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. Okay, so I can take this. Go back to speech. And then let's edit this. Alright, so this earlier version was for the whole song. And here's what I was talking about. Like early on, I had the spacing in for the first lines. And then all these just go blah, 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 and the whole mouth starts quivering because there's no distinction between all those parts. Okay, but I can just delete all this. Oh, yeah, I will need to come up with a better flow for exporting these, but this is just to get the code working right. Okay, so this is a different format. It means I'll need to make some adjustments to the code that loads it in. Alright, so that's one. Save that. Okay, so everything I wanted to do, I can close this one down now. Fried Low! Hey, what's going on? bring up phase tool as well. New window. Yeah, I used an event iterator. Cool. Okay. So let me see what I've got here. Let's do a git commit because that's going to help me go backwards if I need to. I'm about ready to delete some code and redo it. Okay. Take a look at this. I mean, this is basically the same code I would use to read from the file. So it's definitely germane. I can start deleting a few things that I know I'm not going to use too. So let's get rid of speech loader and see what breaks. This is code that has been replaced. Path util. Who is using these things? Do I still have persistent audio? That's another one to get rid of. Okay, looks like I do. Okay, so that's an editor. Really? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I can get rid of this. It's actually a great thing to delete code. Okay, then I want to see who is actually looking for this. Speech file path. Let's take a look at speech file path and see what I can delete there. Alright, now we got some that just aren't being used. That's awesome. That means I can delete them. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, and then when I delete those top level functions that aren't needed, then I got some more I can delete here. Okay, file got a lot simpler. Lot simpler. Okay, let's look at speech recorder, which is now complaining. Okay, you say speech recorder. I don't expect to use speech recorder. That's the truth. Like, it was kind of cool for a little bit. I just don't think I'm going to end up using it. So let's just delete it. Which is going to cause something else to fail or compile poorly. Okay, level controller. Well, okay, this is good. So speech manager is the replacement for speech loader. So that fixes that. And I also noticed that there's already some code that says we won't let the level controller run until all the speech is loaded. So that means I can go back to the death box and I can remove this check. Okay. And then what else? Speech seemed like it had a problem. Yeah. Awesome. So these no longer used. You just always want to get rid of code that's not currently being used, and there's no near-term plan to use it. Okay, who is using this one? Persistent audio. I thought I deleted you. Oh, I've got an extra class. Okay. Do I want to keep it for the hands? I don't think so. Okay, this is no longer used. This is no longer used. Main object. You're complaining about something. Speech loader. Let me think. I've already got a call to speech manager to load speech for the level. So I can take this out here. Let's go back to path util. This is not used any place, it says. If it's not used, I don't want it. not used, so I don't want it. And this, I guess I don't want it either. At some point, I think I will have to make all this stuff be resources. But for now, it's fine. For Windows and Mac, it's fine. Alright, let's see if this builds. This might be a bit of a sweater thread here. Wave controller. That's playing the audio. Okay, other stuff will fail. So there's another tool that's used to edit hand gestures for the big floating hands that make the God character. And that's the code I'm looking at. But I will need to return to it later and update it so it doesn't use this old stuff. Okay, but there's going to be... Oh, wow. Well, I don't want any of this to work, so let's just yank that. Huh. Yeah, I don't want this object to be controlling this, but I do want it to draw the face. So let's do that. Just so I can get rid of. Okay. Now will it build? It won't, because I gotta fix these too. What? I don't know why you had to reformat everything down here, but whatever. Alright, now what will you build? Might as well just do it this way. See if I can get it to build without warnings. Yeah. All that just to do a little bit of code cleanup. That didn't actually give me any new functionality, it just made my code simpler, easier to maintain. Okay, next. Lips file util. So I've got this load from text. It's going to return lips. What is lips? Oh, I do use event iterators on it. Okay, good for me. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got like some comment someplace that says just use the event iterator, but I am using it. So the thing that must be done is to generate these events. Am I doing the same thing with this code over here? Yeah. So let's just move this over. Oops, file util. Call this load from text old. And let's do another one. Actually, this isn't bad. Let's just put that there. Put this up above, so I have calling order. So every time I see something being called, I know to go up to find it. So this calls load from text. Let's continue to have that work like it did. But we also need to pass in the ARP a bit to Blair. let's just do return new ellipse, and then events equals, bam, that text up a bit to blur, and then the let's see. Iterator, and come on. What? Oh, yeah, there's nothing to set there. You just say create iterator. Got it. No problem. Okay, so that is going to be that. Like so. And all the other stuff down here is moot. Yeah, interesting. I've got like the same code underneath, more or less. So just delete that. Okay, so now it calls this, but I didn't copy all the things it needs. Before I do that, I'm going to see what no longer is needed. Oh, well, I can just get rid of, no, I can't. Okay, is this static? It is. Okay, you don't need to pass it in. All right, these are no longer used. Delete those. Okay, so then I just need to copy over the things that are needed here. This one is just import. And somewhere I've already got this frames per second thing. Right here I've got it. So let's just use that. It's alpha car. And phoneme car. Looks like time per frame is not used. if I did this right, it'll load in the modified lips file. The timing will still be messed up because the lips file assumes that when you start playing it, the beginning of it will be at the start of that first line, "Oh Little Nothing." But there's actually some music that happens at the beginning before the Ma starts singing. So what will happen at success would be I hit play, it successfully parses the new format file, and it starts moving the mouth right away. Okay. We shall see. That's what I wanted to happen. That is what I wanted to happen. Okay. $11:45. How much do I want to bite off to chew today? Wait, I did notice the music didn't play. Why is that the case? Oh, it must be because I moved this, which I didn't mean to do. Yeah, I moved it. Let's not do that. Let's not ever do that. Okay. Something else is off. What's up? What's up? Audio, songs, we got the nice.wav. Okay. So this is project audio songs, we got the nice.wav. Oh no, addressable. Bam, okay. Try again. All right, cool. So the next thing is to create a custom timeline. Let's save this. And let's see, git add assets. There's this really nice, simple thing that Cicada pointed me to, if I can find it again. Let's see. Custom timeline. What was that thing called? I can go back to the other project if I want to figure that out. Let's do that. Yeah, timeline experiments. Okay, what was this thing called? Timeline Playable Wizard, I think is what it was called, but package manager. Maybe it's just timeline. Or maybe this was a dependency of something else I imported. Just where did I get this though? Timeline Playable Wizard. How did I install it? Maybe it was just timeline. Yeah, that's not a good documentation link. Okay, well, let me see. Installing Unity Timeline Wizard. How did I install this? It's like I almost have to go back to the stream where Cicada introduced me to this and just see what his comments were. Okay, so this Timeline Playable Wizard, what creates that? Let me see, my assets. There's nothing here, so it must be a package. This makes me suspect it's Timeline. Let me just try installing Timeline. Worst case, I'll be like making a. I'll be installing a dependency of the actual thing that I want to have. So that wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, it's already present. Sure, let's update it. Okay. Is it already up here? No, it's not up there. Well, timeline playable wizard. Installing timeline playable wizard. Let me go to the asset store. Maybe it's in there. Although I find it weird that... Oh, it's default playables. That's the asset. Okay. No. Stop it. Okay. Default playables. No, I don't want Animator. Yeah, this one. Okay, this is what I installed before. Cool. That one. Okay, I could update it. So let's do that. Okay, I guess there wasn't actually a new thing, so I can always update it. Great. All right, import. I really don't want all of this stuff. I don't want a screen fader. Don't want a text switcher or a time dilation. Or maybe I want a transform tween. All right. Nav mesh, no. Light control. No. So that's kind of cool. It's just all in one file. All right, let's try importing just that. The hell, man? Timeline should definitely be there. Alright, do I just need to import the whole thing? Alright, give me the whole fucking thing. Everything. Okay, you leave that. That one's already there, I guess. So let's say all import. Okay, give me everything. Okay, I know what it is. It needs, in the ASMDef, to have the playables thing added. So let's go up here, third party. Man, I don't get it. Let's do it clean. What? Don't get it. I don't get it. So why wouldn't it let me select that? I mean, I could try this one. No, it doesn't seem to do anything. Gas, apply that, I guess. Did that make it work? No. It's definitely the ASMDef, but I'm not getting what I need to do to make it work. Use GUIDs? No, it doesn't do anything. this maybe is a similar kind of problem. That was 4 years ago. Or that was 2 years ago. No. I can't solve this by updating Cinemachine, because I'm not using that. This is advice that's specific to Cinemachine. So one thing I wonder is why can I not can't add timeline to ASM-Def? Razophone. Hey. I end up doing something halfway in between your idea and my idea yesterday. I actually tried out your idea of using the array of asset references. The problem I had with it was that there wasn't enough information in the asset reference for me to do other things differently based on the type of resource it was. But my way wasn't going to work either, because it was relying on me to discover files at playtime that were not in directories that could be enumerated. So what I did is something in between. I created a pre-processing function that queries the asset database, and it populates a game object with addressables, and then addressable paths, and then I use that to do for my loading code to work. So basically it works. But I started out with let's go ahead and do an array of asset references, but the problem is that I have some custom types, and there wasn't enough information for me to figure out like what kind of type it is. To Unity's mind, they're all just text files. And the other problem was that there's information in the file name itself about how that resource should map to other things inside the game, and that wasn't available as a pure asset reference because it doesn't have like the path to it, or the addressable path. But basically I just did some of what I was going to do already, and then some of what you said. It works. Okay, now I'm messing around with trying to get default playables to build. It's missing. No, not exactly. So imagine that we had a game object in the scene and it had an array of asset references, just like you were talking about. Okay, so then I start the scene, it grabs that array and it says, okay, let's start loading them. Let's load them. First question I have is, which callback should I use for the onComplete? Because there's something called a hands file, and that one is a different file format than the lips file. But from a Unity resource perspective, they're both the same type of asset. They're a text file. So if I look at your asset reference, I don't have any information about what type of file it is. And the second thing I have to do, which is based on the actual name of the asset, is link it up to a specific character and a line that they say. And that information is actually in the name of the asset. It's part of the workflow. You create files that are based upon the actual line and character that are set. Since the asset reference was opaque until after I load the asset, then I can get some more information about it. But before I load the asset, I don't have that information. So because I didn't have it, my code wasn't really able to set the right handler and to link it up to the data structures correctly until after the asset loaded, which is kind of a chicken and the egg problem. So it would have loaded fine, but the linkage was more difficult for me that way. So instead I used a list of addressable resource paths that's generated with a preprocessor and edit time. Okay, now I do not understand why it won't let me add the timeline reference in this assembly definition. Because it comes up here, and this is an ASMDef. I can double click it, and it seems like it would work, but this stays exactly the same. So it's like there's no error message. Is there an error message? There's the old error messages from the build. I might save this and reopen it and see if it's something glitchy, maybe. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't try to figure out the asset reference thing. There probably is some way to do it, but I'm good, you know. Like I've got everything I wanted on that. close this. Bring up GK. Wait, now we got everything closed? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I could see how that could be useful. Alright, so this will still not work, and that's fine. The question is, am I able to just put in the timeline reference? Let me try it again. Nope, didn't do anything. Okay, let me just try a different reference just to see if it's possible to pick anything and add to it. No? Okay. That is bizarre. So if I go to project, scripts, I've got another ASMDef, and this one's loaded up with references, including one that I just added in previously. If I try to add another one, like timeline, does not work. What the hell? Well, this one has use GUIDs checked. That's one thing. But still, it's not working. So let me try a different one. So addressables editor. Doesn't work. I mean, I feel like I might have to hand edit. Let me Google this one. Assembly definition references. Can't edit assembly definition references inspector. Yeah, the weird thing is I was totally able to edit them before, and suddenly today I'm not. The thing I hate about the internet is, like, if you say exactly what your problem is, like incorrect language, it won't look up the problem. All right, here's a problem. If you have an idea, I'm very interested. So inside of these ASMDef files, you can define references to other assembly definitions. And I've already done this before. I've added quite a few here. And the UI to do it seems pretty simple. You just hit the plus. Okay, this is empty. Double click on it. Okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that it's saying are valid, and if I look at them, they are really ASMDef files. Addressables is one I added before, so just to pick one that should work, I do this one. This is an ASMDef file. Okay, I'm looking around. Is there any other buttons on here to hit? No. So I figure just double click. All right. Nothing. It doesn't add anything. You know, I've done this before. It's just like, now it's not working. That's not the actual change I want to make, but I went to one ASMDef file that I'd previously made edits to. This is the one that I want to add to. I need it so that I can have a third-party asset use the timeline assembly definition. So I have compilation errors because it doesn't have the timeline assembly definition. So it should be as simple as bam, Unity timeline, double click, but it does nothing to this. It doesn't change it at all. Let me try to use GWIDs. Could it be because my source ASMDef platforms exclude editor compilation? Okay. Yeah. So now I'm gonna try writing it the stupid way. Broken. So I don't see anything like can't change. Let me see if I can just figure it out from a text editing standpoint. I could try that. I always forget where it is. I think you saying this one? You just delete the library directory or all the contents inside of it? Alright, let me, just so I don't screw anything up, I'll quit Unity. Revert, I guess. Revert. Okay. curious. Okay, so is this preferences file? Okay. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and delete this. Move to trash. Or I can even do this. If I want to be super safe, I'll do there. I got some importing to do. Boom, boom. So I announced my release date for the game. It'll be January 1st next year. $300 days from now. I think the other thing I'll do let's just push what I've got, because I have to do a test build later today. So I'll push this to do an early build in case there's any compilation issues with Unity Cloud build. I'll see them. If I don't make any big changes today, I might as well just use this build. So I'll just get this going. So the way this works is I push Git out to GitHub, and then Unity Cloud Build notices that the files changed, and it picks them up and makes a Mac and a Windows build for me automatically. All right. Okay, I don't like this. Why did it start a new scene? Yeah, I've been using it for 3 months or something like that. It's good. It's a little hard to get set up to start, but after that, it's real nice. You get a clean build every time. So I don't have to set up a build machine, then it's just builds on all platforms when you push out onto your repository. I'm not sure. I got like I forget what the name of the plan is. One of those things. The low end plan, but it's paid. Okay, make sure this still works. What was I on? I was on Deathbox. Okay, let's go to Deathbox. Okay. So that's still screwed up. That's fine. But can I now edit the Gamedev? That's what I want. No, it's still not working. Alright. Let me try one more time with GUIDs, since the other one used GUIDs. No? Okay. It's a good thing to try, though, with that library rebuild. Okay. Let's see. We do hand edits on the Gamedev. See what that's like. I'll have to figure out what the GUIDs are, I think. Okay, GK. Third party. With CS project? No, that's not it. Where are those at? Third party assets. CS proj. What's the name of the file? This is it in the assets directory. It's an Gamedev. Is that the same thing as a CS proj file? Also, I wonder, maybe Writer's doing something that's messing it up. Let's just close Writer. Oops, cancel. Okay, so Writer's not open. Revert, I guess. Okay. Okay, let's do it exactly the same as the other one that was working, and let's pick an asset that worked. Addressables. No, not working. Okay. So I guess I ruled out Writer from affecting it. Okay, what's... Revert. Yeah, assets, third-party assets, Gamedev. Which I think is this file here. No, it's not. Maybe I'm missing the file? Am I in the right directory? It's GK assets. GK. Okay, yeah, you gotta go down one. I'm being stupid. Okay, cool. So open this with text edit app. I'm assuming those will be GUIDs. I'll check the other file. Okay, if I go to project, scripts, there's a scripts Gamedev, open with. Yeah. So those are GUIDs. I can look up GUIDs to packages. Actually, it should be a GUID for the Gamedev of a package. Okay, so to do that, I need to find this Gamedev file. So it's going to be Unity timeline. It's going to be here. So I'm looking for the meta file that corresponds to this. Packages, com, unity, runtime. Let's do unity timeline asmdev. So that should be the one. This one, okay. Okay, so this, I think this is the right GUID. Okay. So just looking at third-party assets. Let's not have it showing in the inspector. Let's pick something else. Okay, there we go. We'll say GUID, bam, bam, oops. See if I can crash it. All right, so that worked. That worked. I think I also need the one for. See, most of the compilation errors went away. I think I also need one for timeline editor. I'm guessing that's what this goes to. Looks like editor timeline. Yeah, maybe I'll try it. Well, to find that, I'll use the same process. So let's go ahead and sort of try to add another one. Editor. Okay. First, I'll just try popping it in. Doesn't work, just like before. Okay. And then taking note of this. com.unity.timeline, then editor. So let's go back to here. Editor. And I'm looking for unity.timeline.editor.asmdev. Okay. This should be it. I want the meta file. hand edit this bullshit. Okay, so I got those there. What about down here? No? Okay. Well, which fucking package then? Code generator. Which package is code generator in Unity? Package for code generator. That's the thing I don't understand. When a class is missing, figuring out which package it's supposed to come from. Maybe it'll say something here. Let's check that out. Unity netcode? This doesn't feel like the right one. Let's go look at the source code for this and see what the using is up at the top. Where do you expect to find it? Maybe this code DOM thing. That's probably the one. Let's, well, no. Because that's coming from the C#. The imports here are just Unity editor. That was a very generic name. Let's see. That's a pretty unique method, though. We'll figure out maybe where that's coming from. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So it does look like it's coming from the .NET. So maybe I need to update my .NET. Is that what's up? Maybe I imported a newer version of this default playables, and it requires. Okay, system code DOM compiler. Okay, let me just see. This might be something I can import. You don't like it? I like it better than what they had before. I might be about ready to give up on this whole timeline thing. One other thing I could do. Like, what kind of problems are you having? Not saying I know how to solve them. I'm just curious because like addressables, it's been pretty good for me, but I haven't done everything with it. I've only done the basics. How do I fix this though? Because I'm running 2019.413 F1, and I thought like the version of Unity that I had would determine which runtime was going to be distributed. So I got past one problem, and then there's some other issue. Okay, this doesn't seem to have changed anything, so I'll remove that. Clear, and I've got these two. Okay, code generator. Is it really just for those? Is valid language independent identifier? I could maybe just edit this to get past it. I think it's just those two things. .NET framework, okay. If I can figure out what .NET I'm on from here. I think I follow what you're saying. I think I might have the same feeling about it. So I guess one of the things that bugs me about load async is it's got multiple bindings to it. I mean, it's got multiple ways of figuring out how it's going to load. So there's the extension of the file, which has to be a certain thing, and that's irritating. Okay, then you pass in like a asset class, which is a second indicator of what type of what type of asset it is. It seems to me like they should use one or the other, maybe, but I don't think that the extension should determine anything about like what type of thing loads. If you are specifying yourself explicitly which asset it's supposed to load, which asset type it's supposed to load. Yeah, it feels a little. It feels like the design of it is too complicated for no benefit. But I do like a lot of what they did there, though. Like the thing with having the addressable checkbox and all the different things you can load. It just made it a lot simpler. Don't have to put things in bundles like I did before addressables. Alright, so let's just cheat my way past this problem. This is not important code anyways. Let's have it return true. Let's just try that. Okay. So if I do that, can I build this thing? Okay, I believe it built the third-party assets. No, I didn't modify Unity package. I modified an imported asset. Oh, I should double check that. Yeah, I just it's code that came with an import asset, so it won't get blown away. I've modified packages before and I thought, whoa, I solved it, and then it would just get blown away later or cause other issues. All right. That was a whole hell of a lot of hacking. The second thing that I did, I'm probably sure there was some kind of version incompatibility thing. But the first thing I did, I'm upset about. Like, why the hell should I be able to make the same change I needed inside of the asmdef text file, have it be successful in resolving the compilation errors, and yet when I do it from in here, it just won't even allow me to do it. It just doesn't allow me to edit the... It's nonsense. Somebody wrote some garbage code. Janky ass. Okay, so now, timeline playable wizard. Yeah. Jonathan Blow, he says a lot of stupid stuff, but he also says a lot of smart stuff. He's got this one presentation that I like a lot, which is just how all the software is just going to crap. It's called like typical pretentious title. It's called like the Fall of Civilization, and he just says like he just sat down for like 30 minutes and just wrote a list of everything that was kind of off with software he used, every little bug or glitch or confusing thing. And it's just nonstop. Like, you can keep writing that list out forever. It just never ends. Yeah, there's just a lot of crappy software out there. Alright. I'm going to take a tiny break to grab myself a lunch type thing, and I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. like the local water supply for it and sell water back to the people. All right, all right. Yeah, I know your point. Your point's good. And it's economic. This thing which causes software quality to fail, to falter. If you went purely by what engineers want to do, they would take their time. They would test things better. They would, or at least you would find quite a few people that have this mindset. But instead, it's more like, okay, there's a new project. You say it's going to take 5 months. We're going to ask somebody else. Oh, they said it's going to take 2 months. This other contracting group. They must be more efficient people. They must be more efficient at programming. Or it'll be like, okay, our release date is such and such date. We've got some bugs up, but we need to get it out. So, yeah. I think it's economics that makes software bad. I don't think it's really like a loss of skill sets. Although, if the economics are consistently asking for the same types of skills, then over a period of time you might lose some of the skills in the people that are working to generate software, because it'll be skewed towards this get it out the door mentality. Okay, playable name. Just going to set this here for now. Although I think I'll probably need an intermediate object that goes between speech and this speech playable. Expose references. Okay, so there has to be some kind of game object goes in here. It should be the bootable, because that's where, or the, let's see, boot, yeah, booter. Let's call this booter, because that's going to have okay, and actually I can do speech directly. That'll be more direct. And let's make a new class for this to bind to. Then I'll start with that for now. I'm not sure what the requirements are for it to pop up in this thing, but I'll try that to start. Just looking through these all. I think it's popping up ones that have mono behavior. Or maybe that underneath thing, the object. What is mono? Oh, let's see. to here. Yep, it needs either mono behavior or like object or something like that, Unity object. But let me try it with just object Unity engine, that one. See if that also allows it to come up. Nope. Apparently it needs that. Let's do string line. And let's see. Public emotion. What else was there to it? I think that's it. Can also make these properties. Okay. Let me start with that. Okay, expose references. I think I need speech. That's a speech. There we go. Okay. What do it'd be really cool if I could use the enums. No. Okay. Okay, so let's do a string. Can I do a string? Yeah, I can. Cool. I guess for now, let's just do int. Don't need blending. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, because I think the way it'll work is I set these variables for one point in the timeline. No, don't want that. Maybe, let's add it. Looping. Don't need that. All right. Oh yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's do playable speech. Yeah. Yeah, playable speech. That's what we'll do. And I think I want to rename this. Playable speech controller. Okay. Okay. And back in speech. All this stuff again. Dang it. Alright, so it's going to be character name. Line. Motion note. Okay, where did you put this? You put it down in a weird place. That's okay, I can move it. So let's just take assets. Playable speech, we'll move it into Come on, let me move it. Let me move it. Project. Scripts. Come on, come on. Okay, one at a time then, I guess. Project, scripts, playable speech, which I want to go into dialogue. And then I want this to follow the apply. Okay, and this, let's make it follow the camel case. Okay, and then we'll move this guy inside of there. I got a bunch of stuff in here. Okay. All right, then just let's open up all these files and see what namespace issues they've got. Close all, just close them all. Oh, I have to add in the ASMDef reference again. Okay, so if come back up here, take the first one, put it down here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. It might even compile now. So then, come back to main, and let's add a playable director. Or maybe I need a separate game object for that. I don't know. God damn. It's hard to remember all this stuff. Is it animator? Is it timeline? No. Windows. I guess let's go back, look at the other project, because I did have in the other project I had this hooked up right. Timeline experiments. Okay, game object as a playable director. For the playable, you put in whatever the new thing is that you come up with. Okay, got it. Speech, or playable. Come on. Maybe I need to make a prefab. Is that what it was? Okay, where does this come from? Directional. Junkie timeline. Where are you found at? Are you a prefab? Where are you? Assets, garbage, playable. And what is this? Okay, maybe that was generated. If that was generated, then maybe I've got the same thing over here. I do not. Maybe I have to create it inside of the assets. Okay, so let's create playables. No. Maybe, okay. I mean, I can try timeline. Okay, timeline. If we do the timeline. Okay. So getting confused by what all the different things are. I guess speech, playable. I guess. I'm kind of getting confused by. Okay, it wants this thing. That's just a timeline asset. Okay. So this is not a playable, this is a timeline. So speech, timeline. But I think this is a specific timeline. It's not like a general use prefab. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so let's put this not here then. Delete that. Delete. Let's say animation, and we'll just create a new directory. Level timelines. And we'll create this one here. Our death box level. Create a timeline. It's the We Got the Knives timeline. Okay. Then we come back to main. Come down to here. This is We Got the Knives. Okay. Now I think I can look at this in the timeline view. Animator. Animation. Oh, maybe double click this. Okay. Here, playable speech track. There we go. Custom track. Here, let's get an audio track, which I only need for reference, but boy, I just want something I can scrub against. Add from audio clip. Okay. We got the knives. Okay, there's my audio track for scrubbing. Okay, so then in theory, I can hit play on this. It'll play some audio to preview with, or maybe I need to be, got so much learning to do here. It had something to do with, is it selected? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have to select a game object. Okay, then if I hit play,
Oh, little.
okay. Add playable speech clip. Okay, so I got that there. This will be the ma. This will be oh little nothing. Speech is going to come from Booter. There's something else they said you can do, add from speech. Yeah. And what that gives me, maybe nothing, I don't know. I have no idea what that does. But the other thing I could do, let's get rid of this. Okay, so there's that there. I could set speech here. On each one of these I could do that. I would love it if this line would show up inside of here. I think I can do that.
Oh, little nothing. You.
Okay. So what I believe will happen is it'll set values of playable speech control. I think values of it will get set. And when they get set, For now, let's do like a debug log type thing. Let's do it this way. String character name. What is the syntax? I always forget this. C# property set call method. Yeah, but that's not good enough for me because I need the set version of that, which would pass some parameters. Oh, is value just a reserved word that always gets said? Okay, maybe that's all I have to do. So if it's just like that, then it would be okay. Okay. So I feel like that has no hope of working yet because I never wrote any code that would actually manipulate these values. Let's see. Okay. Playable speech behavior. What does that give me? Yeah, this stuff here. Speech, character name, line, emotion number. Okay. Okay, do I get some kind of... Okay. Oh, I do get controller. Controller's right here. Okay, so track binding. Line equals input line. Track binding. Character name equals input character name. Track binding. Emotion node equals input emotion node. Track binding. What was the last one? Character name, emotion, no. Line. Maybe that's it. I can't remember now. I think that is it. Okay. Let's see. No, not that play, the other play.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed.
I think there's something too about whether it's going to be edit, if it's going to run edit mode versus play mode. I might be missing something there. I think. Let's go back to main. Oh, no. How do you, what, why? Like this, what, but why? Not disagreeing, I just don't understand, like, what would the reason be for it? Just want to see if this gets called. Well, I haven't really hit a real problem yet. I'm just trying to get the the code in the playable to update. I'm just barely trying to figure out, like, you know, how do these things actually interplay with each other. I mean, I can set this, but I don't know. No, I always hit the wrong play button. Dang it. I'm probably missing the idea of what you're saying. Okay, so I got that. Then hit play there. Do I have the debugger running? Let's run the debugger. Okay, that part's good. Is the track bound? It's not. Oh, it might be though. Okay, so track binding is not there yet.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed. Oh, little nothing.
So it gets called, but it's not bound. What does that mean? Track binding equals player data. as playable speech controller. So why do I have it returning null? It says this is called runtime edit time. Okay. I really do want to be bound to edit time. What's stopping it from being bound? I might have to look at the calling code. Okay, so it's really early into this problem. But the general problem is this generated code from the wizard. It should, as the timeline plays, it should get called, which it is, and then it should have enough stuff in here that I can go ahead and set values on this other generated class that I've created. So I've got some code here that is probably right. The problem I'm trying to figure out why right at the moment that I just barely started looking at is why is the track binding coming in as null on this process frame function? This is a generated function. So that's what I'm working on. So if I hit this, I hit the play button on the timeline in the editor, and I can see that player data is null, and that's the next thing to figure out is like, why is player data null when it's getting called here? Oh, this player data that might be the no. So it's the playable speech controller.
You are afraid that all your pieces fell apart. They fell below.
Yeah, maybe the controller should be attached to the game object. That's not the thing that, well, maybe, huh? So what, this binding here, oh, yeah, you might be onto something. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add a playable speech controller, and then I guess we're just doing an instance of ourselves. That's probably a good idea. Let's
Fell apart. They oh, little nothing.
I might hit play and unplay just to sort of cycle the state a little bit. Okay, so if I come back to main here, here's the timeline. I got my, what is this? Playable speech clip is here. It's kind of weird to me that it has a binding for an audio track here. I never said anything about an audio track. Is that just something that happens by default? Oh no, there's... Okay, this is... One of these is listed for each one that is added up here. Okay, those correspond to there. So this one was... Here, let's pull that in a little... Yeah, playable speech controller. That one's set. What's this? This seems wrong. Okay, let's try this. Playable. No. God, I'm just lost with all of this hierarchies of objects. So this should be playable speech. Oh, come on. Now you're not letting me drag so I can actually see what you are. Okay, there we go. Playable speech track. What is this binding supposed to be? So I just pulled main over. And it did playable speech controller. What? So there's a director, there's a timeline asset, I don't know. It looks like a custom defined thing. Let me see if it's no. So there's this. There's the track asset. This is so convoluted, man. Well, I guess it inherits from scriptable object, but I'm feeling like this is just such a fuckaroo, though. Like, even if I got it working, then it just feels like it's so brittle. All these different references to things have to be set right. I don't know. I've got doubts on this whole approach now. It just seems so terrifically complicated. And it just feels like there'll be some upgrade to Unity and all my shit will stop working. Okay. It'll take a while to explain it, but it might help me clarify my thoughts, so I'll tell you. I have one type of animation authoring tool which produces a set of lip animations that correspond to one line. I wanted there to be an overall timeline that I could put these clips into, one per line, and they would cause a subtitle to play and also the code that I already wrote to begin animating lip movements around that time. So I thought I'll create a custom type of clip or these events, and I'll just make all the glue and it will just call my code that already exists. All I need is an ability to have events on this timeline that specify certain things I want to happen, and then I need the glue into the rest of my system that's ready to do things in response to those events. That's it. The main benefit of this whole thing is just that it's got a nice timeline interface. It's got a few things like scrubbing. Nah, maybe not. The main benefit of all this is just that this timeline UI and being able to edit a little efficiently inside of it. However, this seems complex enough that it's even if I understand how to do it, it feels brittle. Like I just gotta keep on futzing with this stuff every time I want to create a new timeline. Now I'm doubtful now even like how future-proof it is. Like I'll go through some Unity upgrades and it feels like stuff is going to break. In the same way that the tool I began using was broken. Probably due to some combination of upgrades of different components. So I think I might just scrap this timeline stuff, to be honest, and I have to come up with a different way to author the events. If there was even just like some nice open source tool that did timeline editing and it output to some nice, easily readable format, I'd just parse in that format. Yeah, okay, so if we get it working, say there's just like one more small thing I have to do. I'm still having my doubts about this whole setup. It's janky. It's really janky. It's like you have to connect up all these things to get it to work, and it's just it's gonna slow me down. I'm not impressed with the whole timeline animation setup here. So I'm thinking more in lines of, is there just some external tool that would allow me to specify enough information, some Adobe Suite thing, some open source animation editor, that could output to some file format, and then I'll just import it in. I'd much rather write a parser than fuck around with all these little strings going to different black boxes. All right, I'm going to start writing down ideas for how to get past this. This is all done. This is all done. I did all that. Okay. Number one. Okay, I could use Audition with text markers. Ink flow. Number three. Logic X with text markers. Export to MIDI. That I know works because I can parse the MIDI files and get the lyrics out of them. So if that's the case, I can put anything I want inside these text markers. It might be a little bit slow, but I don't have too many things I need to author this way. Let's take a look. Ink flow. Oh, here, I'll go to the link you sent me. I think this is too. It's. I'm looking for a much smaller thing than this. I'm not looking for a new framework. Not looking for like a scripting language because I've already got level scripting. I've got all kinds of shit in there. It's just one little piece. It's an authoring solution. Write your own bad solution, but I just put it there because I'm brainstorming. It's probably going to be this one or this one. Okay, if I do it with Audition, the edit in there is a little bit better than it was in Logic X. When I tried it with Logic X, it was really annoying. So you can do like a sure. see if the format that it uses for the markers is really, it's like a text format. So if I go to my assets, I go to the songs, we got the knives, and PKF, that was the file. Okay, so open this with text edit, see what of course it's binary. Okay, we see in Audition, export markers. Okay, so I could do it in Audition, and that interface isn't bad. And it does seem to have a way to export them as a CSV file. Let me see if that's actually there, because they change the format, the UI all the time. So it would be like,
Oh, little nut.
okay, then I would say, oh, little nothing.
Oh, little nothing.
Yeah, okay. I can take these and I can export them. Yeah, I stick them in downloads. Where's downloads? Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty simple. So I know this isn't the bias that other people have. Other people are biased differently than me, but in my future, I would rather spend an hour writing a CSV parser than do all that fucking around with linking scriptable object to track type custom this that and like 17 different classes. And Yeah, but look, all I gotta do is just author the events inside of a program I'm pretty familiar with, Audition, and then do this export CSV. Then I'll have some Unity code which does an import and changes it into like a nicer file, or I could just import directly from this file inside of Unity. This can be an asset. Yeah, I would probably just do that. And it's the kind of thing that would drive somebody else nuts, but it's kind of fits my workflow and how I think about things. So I think I'm going to do that. And I might just want to get rid of all this stuff I've got in here. Let's just remove this. Wait, let me read what you said a little bit further though. So just like give it a name, and you don't have to use the custom events, I think is what you're saying. I could just do what do you say? Animation track. Let me look at these other tracks real quick, because maybe they work better. What's the animation track? Let's see. Control track. Text switcher track. Yeah, it's just all that hooking up the different references that just really skews me out. Alright, close this thing. Alright, I'm just going to go through and add in all these guys up here.
Oh, little nothing. You are afraid. All your pieces. They failed. put you back together. Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Will we put you back together? That's the plan, because we got the knife. Fix you, to slice you. That's the plan, because we got the knife. To fix you, to slice you. To bite you.
Alright. I gotta, like, keep going on this. I realize it's not good streaming stuff. I got a few off-stream things to do. So I think I'm gonna hang it up around here. Razophone, I don't know how annoying it must be to watch me, like, struggle with all this stuff. There's this whole thing, and you're not the first one to do it, where it's like somebody tries to offer a suggestion on how to do something, and then I'm just like, no, because it's this other way I want to do it, and it's just, I don't know, it must be a little bit irritating or something to you, but I appreciate your hanging out and offering help and advice. I actually do. And your thoughts yesterday were helpful to me. Like, even after that session was done, I was using some things that you had said. So, definitely appreciate it. Anyways, you might not even be on still. I'm going to stop the stream pretty quick here. I'll just... All right. Bob, man, thank you. I try to be nice. It's too easy not to be. A little bit. A little bit. All right. I'll see all y'all. Catch you later. Stop in the stream.